Assalamu alaikum, girls. Belated Eid Mubarak. Okay. Today we are going to start the chapter of enzymes. As I told you earlier, that we are going to proceed with this chapter. In this chapter, we are going to study about enzymes and what are enzymes, their structure, their types, like what is their mechanism of action, lock and key model or induce fit model. We are also going to study about the characteristics of enzymes, and the whole chapter is about enzymes. So let's start. Okay, I've been awake for the whole night, so I'm a little less composed. Let's start. We know that whatever is happening in our bodies is basically happening, is a reflection of all those chemical reactions happening inside. I mean, though, if we are not feeling good, it means there is something wrong happening in our bodies. And if we are healthy and happy, this is all because of those reactions, series of reactions happening in our body. And I must have informed you before that in every cell, thousands of reactions are taking place, like literally thousands of reactions. We have studied respiration. No, I'm sorry, we haven't studied, but I have told you that there are thousands of reactions taking place in every cell. And those reactions are basically overall called as metabolism. Let me define what metabolism is. Whenever you come across the word metabolism, it means we are talking about series of biochemical reactions occurring in living organisms in order to maintain life. Like thousands of reactions I'm talking about is actually metabolism. What it is derived from a Greek word which means change. So these reactions are creating change in our body. These processes allow organisms to grow and reproduce. I mean, how a baby grows by a series of reactions, and those reactions lead to cell division, and a baby grows, and later on it reproduces. This is how these reactions maintain the structure and respond to the environment. I mean, because of these reactions, we are making different structures and carrying out life processes. And whatever is happening in our bodies is because of this metabolism. But I must tell you that metabolism is of two types: anabolism and catabolism. This is how you're observing in your first page of this chapter, that metabolism is of two types: anabolism and catabolism. But what is anabolism? It includes the biochemical reactions in which larger molecules are synthesized. Look at this reaction. You are familiar with this reaction of photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide and water combines together to make glucose and oxygen. The one thing which is apparent in this reaction is that we are making the small molecules reacting together to become a bigger one. And such kind of synthesis of big molecule is called as anabolic reaction. Girls, you're going to mention this equation in exams or whenever I will ask you to write about anabolism. And this is the reaction of photosynthesis, that small molecules combining together to become a big one. And one thing more happens in these reactions, that they absorb energy. Energy is required in these reactions. In case of photosynthesis, sun is providing energy. So one thing is that it synthesizes big molecules, and the another thing is that energy is absorbed in such reactions. Let's move further. Catabolism. This is another type of metabolism where biochemical reactions occurs to break the larger molecules. Larger molecules are broken down into smaller ones, and energy is released in this case. The example I'm giving of is respiration. You have studied this equation from the beginning, that glucose reacts in the presence of oxygen and converts into carbon dioxide, water, and energy is released. Now we know that energy is released in the form of ATP. I haven't gone into the detail of ATP because that's what we are going to study in 7th chapter, but it is the form of in which basically what I want to say is that energy in our bodies is utilized in the form of ATP, energy packets, right? Hey, leave this thing right now. The only thing which I want to tell you is that in catabolism, big molecules are broken down into smaller ones and energy is released here. So these are the two main things which are happening in catabolic reactions. Let's move further. So metabolism is of two types, catabolism and anabolism. And in catabolism, energy is released, while in anabolism, energy is absorbed. One type of reactions are releasing energy into the environment, and the other type of reaction is absorbing energy from the environment. So this is how the biochemical reactions are basically transferring energy. You must have studied somewhere, or you will study, that energy is never wasted. It converts from one form to another. I forgot the law which says that energy is converted into one form, from one form to another, and is never wasted. So here we are learning one thing more, that catabolic reactions are releasing energy and anabolic reactions are absorbing energy. So there is no wastage of energy in our bodies and even in our environment. During metabolism, chemicals are transformed from one form to the other by enzymes. When the reaction is happening, reactants are converted into products. They are converting from one form to another. And who is doing that? Enzymes are doing that, especially in living organisms, not in non-living things. I will tell you what things are involved in non-living things. But in living organisms, enzymes are creating this change. So if you look at this reaction, no, I want to zoom here. If you look at this metabolism, anabolic reactions are the one where small molecules are combining together to make a big chain of molecules by absorbing energy. And this is happening only because of enzymes, right? While in catabolic reactions, big molecules are breaking down into smaller molecules and energy is released. These reactions are also taking place by the help of enzymes. But you have to remember that different kind of enzymes are involved. Every time the same enzyme is not there. In anabolic reactions, different enzyme will be working, and in catabolic reaction, there must be a different enzyme, right? There's thousands of different type of enzymes present in our bodies. So let's move further. Now I want to tell you one thing more before telling you what is enzyme. The word enzyme is related to the word of catalyst and biocatalyst. So I have to tell you what is a catalyst and what is a biocatalyst. A catalyst is basically any chemical which speeds up the chemical reaction. The word catalyst is used mostly in chemistry and in non-living things, where a chemical is speeding up the reaction. What do you mean by speeding up the reaction? For example, a reaction which is taking place in 1 hour, the catalyst will speed up that reaction to take place in 10 minutes. It will not take 1 hour, rather it will finish in 10 minutes. So this is what the work of catalyst is, to speed up the reaction. But what is a biocatalyst? As the word shows, it is also a catalyst, but present in living organisms. Biocatalysts are also the one which speeds up the reaction, but they are present in living organisms, in living cells. And these biocatalysts are the one which we call them enzyme. I mean, it is the other name of biocatalyst to call them as enzymes. So enzymes are crucial to metabolism because they act as biocatalysts and speed up and regulate metabolic pathways. I mean, for digestion and for different kind of neurochemical reactions, enzymes are compulsory. Without them, we cannot survive well, right? Let's move further. So now I have to tell you what enzymes are, the basic information. Basically, where am I? Have to. Okay. Um, Enzymes are protein in nature. I mean, whatever the type of enzymes are existing in living organisms, all of them are protein in nature. And I have told it to you before what proteins are. Protein is one of the type of food, but made up of amino acids. I mean, up till now, this knowledge is enough for this stage, that different amino acids join together to make proteins, and one of the proteins is enzymes. We have studied it in fourth chapter, where we were studying about Golgi complex, that one of the Golgi vesicles were carrying proteins, and in lysosomes we have studied that enzymes are coming from Golgi apparatus, but the vesicle which contains enzymes are called as lysosomes. So I have told you about enzymes over there as well. So coming back to the point that enzymes are protein in nature, and they catalyze. Catalyze means they speed up the biochemical reactions, and they are not chained during the reaction. Not chained means whenever we study about a reaction, reactants are converting into products, which means reactants, whatever the reactant is finished, and it converts into something new. The reactant as a chemical is not there in that environment. What I'm trying to say, whenever a reaction happens, reactants change into different chemical, which is called as product. But enzymes present in a reaction do not change. They do not change their chemical structure. They stay there. Their function is to speed up the reaction, but they are not changing themselves. So now enzymes are acting on reactants and converting them into product by speeding up the reaction. Now here in biology, reactants are called as substrate, especially in the case of enzymes. We are not calling them reactants, we are calling them substrates, because the enzyme is acting on them, and it's a molecule where enzyme is acting, so we are calling it as substrate. When that substrate is converted into a product, into something else, we call it as product. I will continue the lecture in the next recording because it will be difficult to share. So, Allah Hafiz for now.